Welcome to Citizens Forum on Sapiencia's channel. Today on Citizens Forum, as we do have discussion on the state of the nation, we'll be having a discussion on the state of Anambra State. April 5th seems to be the date when almost all the political parties, especially the big ones, that is talking about ABGA, the Labour Party, the APC, are going to have their primaries. Of course, we've seen candidates purchasing the governorship forms. Recall that in 2021, India Anambra went to the polls November 6th and chose for themselves a governor. We are going to see that happen November 8th, 2025. While you see the administration of Chukwuma Soludo, giving itself a pat on the back that it has achieved monumental success in all sectors of the economy. Today we'll be having a comprehensive discussion around governance in Anambra State, every sector from security to infrastructure. My name is Jude Geoman Ekeji. I'm ready. My guest on the other end is quite ready, and we bet you're ready. I'm going to connect to him right now, and we'll begin our conversation. All right, just a moment. Let's see how the conversation kicks off with him right away. Hello, good morning, sir. Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning and welcome to Citizens Forum on Sapiencia's channel.
Good morning, good morning.
All right, my guest today on Citizens Forum is Apostle Dr. Nnamdi Stanley Mbaigbo. He is the MD Tropical Gate Limited, the MD Kratos Marinus Global. Of course, being very much involved in human capital development, academic development, sports development, and health service delivery, not just in Anambra State, but across Nigeria. Welcome to the program once again, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's kick off the conversation. Our conversation, of course, will be centered on Anambra State. Well, the governor of Anambra State, this administration has said they've achieved monumental success in all sectors of the economy. I want you to have a go at what you think on governance in Anambra State. Let's pick them this way. Let's begin with security. How do you assess security in Anambra State?
Yeah, first of all, my friend, my brother, Mr. Jude Geoman.
Yes.
I want to thank you for what you do and the work you put through at Radio Sapiencia. Your work is monumental.
Thank you.
I must appreciate you. And back to the question you asked me about Anambra. Anambra is our home. Anambra is our place. Anambra is a state we love dearly. And everybody knows that in the last 6 years, Anambra State has been bedeviled with high rate of insecurity. Even the blind has been the rate of insecurity that we are faced with in Anambra. I can't explain it. It's unexplainable and unimaginable how it has also gone so bad in the last 3.5 years. It has gone so bad that we cannot remember the last time we are faced with this reality. So it's a very unfortunate thing. I can't go straight to start talking one after the other, the incidents and the experiences people are faced with. Geoman, let me tell you.
All right.
Throughout last year,
yeah.
Because of the rate of insecurity, I left my hometown on the 18th of January last year. I could not attend Anambra again till December this year because you hear a lot of things, you see a lot of things, and you can't imagine being a victim. I know this experience is not just my personal experience. A lot of Anambarians all over the world have really distanced themselves from Anambra because of the high insecurity. And this is affecting every facet of development it education, infrastructure, and foreign direct investment. It's quite heartbreaking. And this is what I can say. I mean, I can't explain it, but it's so bad. It's so bad how it has turned out to be for us in Anambra State.
All right. Moving from security, if there is one thing this administration prides itself, it's about infrastructural development. What is your take on infrastructural development in Anambra State? And I want us to have a holistic conversation on infrastructural development, because most times in Nigeria, when we talk about infrastructure, it seems as though we are always pointed to, cement, roads and bridges. But let's have a holistic conversation around that. That also includes public services, because the reason why government exists is to provide public service. So let's have a conversation around that. How do you view infrastructural development in Anambra State?
Geoman, you said it all. The current and most leadership before now and currently now have really reduced the mentality of the average and Anambra. So when we say infrastructural development, the first thing they will tell you is road, bridge, and the rest of that. But Anambra State has come far. Since 1991, 92, the state was created. It has been about building roads, and several governments have contributed. In fact, during the last P2B regime, Anambra State was counted to be one of the states that have very good road network. So Anambra State has really been so dwelling on building roads that nearly you say infrastructural development, average and Anambra will say there is a new road that goes through my house, and therefore government is really doing something in terms of building road. But in today's world, where we are, the new reality that we are faced with, it is not only about building roads, it's about creating infrastructure that has capacity to drive economy. It's about creating infrastructure that has the capacity to reposition Anambra for greater Anambra and for the new Anambra all of us had also wished. I mean, what stops us from talking about government facilitating dredging of the river? It's easy for us to say. It's not in a list or exclusive list for the state government to dredge the river, but they can facilitate it. I mean, here in Lagos, and you see what Lagos State, how they have collaborated with the federal government to do the Lekki Free Trade Zone, how the government of the state have also facilitated the Deep Blue Sea region, those regions, and see what government has done, marketed the state, supported the federal government, lobbied around it to see that now Lagos not only have 2 ports, but have more than 2 ports because of the practices of the state government in collaboration with the federal government. So we can talk about that, and imagine what dredging River and making it a seaport. The minimum employment that you can get having a seaport in Anambra State, the minimum in the organizational public, the organizational public, the minimum we can get is over 1 million jobs, 1 million jobs created. And you can imagine what it means to the economy, the future of Anambra people, where you have 1 million people gainfully, directly or indirectly employed and have work to do. You can imagine what will happen to our security life, imagine the lifestyle, the household, and the rest of that. I mean, when we talk about infrastructure, what stops us from thinking about how do we fiber optic Anambra, put Anambra on the internet using fiber optics and deploying these optics so that other businesses related to internet internet can also power people, the fintechs, banks, cannot head up in Anambra. Imagine if the state government can facilitate this kind of great venture. Imagine what it could really tell on the youth, because now we have a generation that is born during the era of internet, the internet era, the millennials, the Gen Z, the Alpha, and the new generation we have now is generation Beta. And so these generations are people born in the era where internet is their new reality. So what happens that if the state government will take it upon themselves to really deploy this fiber optics in our rural areas where it only needs to be in Abuja or be in Lagos, and imagine the kind of development and it can really bring to us. What happens when we start considering like Anambra, we are not in the gas pipeline nodule. Even though very close to us in the Port Harcourt area, they are generating gas, and gas pipeline goes through up to Asaba. But we in Anambra, we have been excluded in this gas pipeline nodule. And so what happens if the state government takes it upon themselves to connect us into this grid? It really is going to revolutionize our industrial sector. It's really going to attract a lot of funding, a lot of participation for industries to start considering Anambra. Look at what is happening in Aba, where these pipelines have gone through, and we see how industries are relocating, domiciling themselves in these areas. What happens is that when you have all these things are called the enablers. Government has no business doing business, but government has business creating enabler, something that could drive other value chain of development. So, and I know we can do it. It's not nuclear science. People have done it before. So when we talk about infrastructure, I mean, it's not only about mother and bridges and building roads and bridges. We have gone too far over these years, more than 20, 30 years of resistance, to keep talking about roads and talking about flyovers and the rest of that. We should really look at sustainable development, sustainable infrastructure development that can not just only feed us for today, but have the capacity to also for the future people to benefit from that. That's my take. We are doing very, very bad because we can't keep talking about building those up to today. We need to rejig.
Yep.
We need to rejig the whole system and create a new neural pathway in our infrastructural journey.
All right. I was going to ask you about the business environment, and investment in Anambra. But you might want to talk to that in 2 minutes. But you really touched on it when you were talking about this last point. Okay. Let's move to politics. Let's move to politics.
I can even talk on that. Let me add on the business. I've said something on the business, but again, Joma,
okay.
I have businesses in Anambra.
All right.
I have a tissue manufacturing company in Anambra.
Okay.
I also own a school in Anambra.
I'm aware of that.
And you see, in the last 4 years, believe you me, none of these businesses have made. I'm not saying about making profit. None of these businesses have created finance to sustain itself. It has been, we are injecting money from outside the Anambra to keep them alive. Just to keep them alive.
What's responsible for that?
The insecurity is part of it.
Okay.
The hostile environment, the hostile business environment. I don't want to talk about the high taxation, the high, because government needs money actually. But again, the insecurity has really affected virtually all the businesses, from trading to other ventures you can think about. Anambra have been denied because of the insecurity issues and other very aggressive environment that has been created has made business to stifle businesses in Anambra. And we really need to look at it again. How do we, as I suggest, we need to tackle the security. We need to create the enabler, the infrastructure like the fiber optic chain, the network, high power network, internet network facilities that will drive the new businesses that have been created today. So these are things that is affecting people from the north, people from the other neighboring states that used to come to Memphis.
Yeah.
People at home is part of it, and other insecurities that are really becoming a very big problem for businesses to thrive in Anambra.
All right, let's move to politics. Like they say, that's the granddaddy of everything, because you cannot fix you cannot fix any problem if you don't get involved in the politics of the day. And Anambra, November 8th, every political party is gearing up towards November 8th. We've seen the governorship forms being picked. The date for primaries, April 5th, at least the APC, the Labour Party, and ABGA have fixed April 5th for the primary. So things are gearing up. One thing that has happened, and I'm speaking to you specifically because you are associated with Valentine Ozigbo. We've seen him move from the PDP, where he contested, from the Labour Party. Yes, he contested in 2021 under the platform of the PDP. And then he came second in that election, and then he went to Labour Party with Mr. Peter Obi. And right now, we've seen that move to APC. Can you really speak to this move?
Thank you once again.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm widely associated with Valentine Ozigbo, who, by the grace of God, will be one of the governorship hopeful for this 2025 election. And you are correct that we are going to move from Labour Party to APC. And for us, it's a strategic move. It's a strategic move in the sense that the lingering crisis at the Labour Party leadership has really made it very, very, very precarious for him to continue to use that platform to express his intention to develop and contribute his quota in retaking Anambra State. And so he has considered it very well and reached out to most of his supporters and most of the stakeholders in Anambra Tower movement and civilian movements to see the alternatives that are available for him. And to that extent, he has considered already has moved to APC. And I tell you, it wasn't an easy decision for him to make because of the beautiful mentorship and beautiful relationship he has enjoyed working with His Excellency Peter Obi over this year. It was a very difficult but very important and strategic decision he has to take. In fact, it's an essential decision if he must survive and contribute his quota in development of Anambra. So, having said that, Val has also been going around sensitizing the good people of Anambra for the need for them to support him as he moves to APC. So it is important. It's important to the extent that if you look at all the political parties that are available now, the PDP at the state level, a lot of court crises and court litigations, and even at the national level, a lot of litigations are going on. And if you go to other smaller parties, you consider the cost and the capacity to protect his vote positioned themselves as so organized. If you look at also the effort of the APC at the national level, the effort they have been making since they took over, led by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you look at the effort he has been making to really stabilize the economy, looking at what he inherited, we heard that over 30 trillion was printed, and this has caused inflation. We had the issue of the subsidy, how the government has been paying subsidy, and which was causing leakage, economic leakage. And we see how bold steps that Tinubu-led administration have been making. Currently, for the first time in a long time, prices go up and prices will come down. Look at fuel. Fuel went up, and you see the impact after the first quarter, where you see the impact that fuel is actually coming down. You see sincerity of purpose. You see that people are working hard to ameliorate the conditions, even though it is so heated or so bad that we cannot really see it so glaring. But if you are sincere enough, we see the price is gradually crashing down. Day before yesterday, it deducted 25 naira, and it keep on coming down. You see the dollar that was moving up for the last 2 months now, the dollar has not moved up, rather it's trying to move downward. This is not just a wishful thinking, this is a frantic effort by the APC-led government to see that really the cries of Nigerians are being really considered. And looking at this, you see the great work they are doing in infrastructure, the opening up of the Calabar Expressway, the new road, the entirety, not just asphalting an old road, is a new road on its entirety. You look at that corridor, the kind of economy that corridor is going to open up. The Lagos Calabar Expressway. You look at the Lagos Dampa Expressway. These are entirely new roads. You see the railway, the interchange, the railway system that they are trying to put in place, and all these things. And you see, okay, recently the state government has just signed 54 trillion budget. I tell you, if this 54 trillion budget is deployed up to 80%, by the end of this year, things will really move downward. If this 54 trillion budget is deployed up to 80% of the budget, really, these people, the average Nigerian, will really feel the impact of the government. It's a bold step. So I'm saying this to say that this is why Valentine has considered APC being able to be stable over this year without litigations around, and the impact the government in power is also making. So they really need a kind of a candidate like Valentine Mbaigbo who has this seemingly white garment, impeccable character, emotionally intelligent, stable, sound, very optimistic, young and useful, vibrant candidate. I hope this will translate in Anambra people plugging into the national grid and getting the benefit as they deserve the benefit in the news. Look at the education trust fund. Currently, the government is making available some funds for students if you want to go to school, just like it is happening all over the world. Money should not stop a young person from getting education. So you go, you take a loan, payable whenever, when you start working. So this is actually revolutionary. And I think with VAL on board, people like VAL on board, people like us on board, people like you on board, and well-meaning and Nigerians. So we are going to be able to bring these lives into our home. So it's a good move, and it's a move towards the right direction. It's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for VAL. It's a win for Anambra people. It's a win for APC. It's a win for Nigeria. So it's a very strategic and very powerful move, and needs to be encouraged and supported by everyone in Anambra.
Well, before I let you go, let me ask you this question. You see, there are, not just in Anambra, across Nigeria, there is a large number, or there are large numbers of especially young Nigerians who are not really interested in political political parties, these political parties. So whatever political party you mention, they have something against that party. For instance, the APC, you have a large number of people who will tell you they wouldn't want to identify with the APC, and they will give you their reasons. You come to the PDP, same thing. You come to ABGA, if you come to Anambra State, there are also people, you tell especially young people, get involved in politics. You try to pass that message to them, and then they tell you, look around, look at the people, look at the people surrounding power and all of that. We saw what happened with Labour Party too. Mr. Peter Obi moving to Labour Party changed the fortune of that party, but it also showed something. It showed that young people, Nigerians, I keep saying young people because they are the numbers. Over 70% of those registered are young people. So we have to talk about them and be specific about them when we speak like this. You saw how moving into that party energized that party. Trouble support. Why do you think it has been very difficult for Nigerians who are interested in good governance to form an alternative platform, get together? Because you see what's happening with the Labour Party. What's happening with the Labour Party right now is that they didn't form their own, they didn't create their own platform. They simply moved into an existing platform. And now Mr. Peter Obi is inheriting all of the baggages that exist in that party, right? So why not young people, interested people, good people, those who don't want to get their hands soiled, those who are tired with corruption, those who are tired with incompetence? Why has it been difficult to get together at different levels and say, let's create an alternative platform? Let us see if the individuals who are going to come into this party from day one, let us have internal democracy in this political party. Let no individual, let no money bag hijack this platform. Is this wishful thinking, or do you think it can happen?
Young man, this is a very, 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 very wonderful. I'm part of that demograph you have mentioned now. The last time I identified with a party was PDP. That's the last time I identified with a party. And I have my own bitter feelings and why I think what you have just mentioned, creating a new party, a young people coming together, is the alternative. Joma, every person I have spoken to in the last 1 or 2 years, some of them are hearing me now. They will tell you that I am one of the people that believe that for the young man, for the young person to really participate in the political processes of the new Nigeria, there is a need for us to really create a new party that is ideological, a new party that will really solve the tomorrow's problem, consider the variables, the upcoming variables of the future, the future of work, the future about everything, the narrative of everything, put it in perspective, the realities of the Gen Z and the millennials. So I think that is the best way to go about it, and it's a difficult road. That's why everybody avoids it. That's why every person really will think it is. Again, considering their age, some of them their age, but I tell you, it is only good men plant trees that they will never take shade on under it. So I strongly believe, and I will be part of it, if there is a new party coming up for the young people. I will invest my time, my energy, everything around me for the emergence of a new political party. That is the actual thing, the most decent thing to do. But again, in the face of our reality, where the possible is not available, the available becomes the possible. So when you are faced with the devil and the deep lucid, So you have to make a choice. So what we are seeing today is that the politicians that are over 50 years, they are really afraid of investing in this new reality that is before us. But I tell you, people of our age, we are not afraid of it. We are still going to do that. That is the right thing to do. That is what the yearning is. That is what the cravings are. I know a lot of people who really, in the last 7-8 years, they are not about the political party, they are about the individual. They have moved into, I don't care about the political party you are coming from, I care about the personality of the person. But now it has gone because the vehicle you are driving has a role in playing in your decision taking. The party machinery owns the ideology that drives the leadership of the party in power, the person in power. So they will not do much, but they will do some because individuals are different. There are people who are highly emotionally intelligent than the others. So the best we have now is to have leaders who are emotionally intelligent, leaders who are critical thinkers and problem solvers, leaders who have the right communication skills, leaders who know how to tell stories of their deeds or their governance, leaders who can build trust, give trust, share trust, rebuild trust. These are things we are available with. But the big picture is about destruction, creating a new party, using the new destructive mechanisms, internet and other facilities to create a new mega party that is going to disrupt all this and retire all these parties that are available. This is the big picture. That's where the ideological point, that's where we are aimed to go. And that is the responsibility of people under 40s to really provide this leadership for the Gen Zs and the better. It is for us, people who are within their 40s and less than 40s. It's on us now. The leadership is on us to really think at that. And Geoman, if that starts, please, if you're the one starting it, get me involved. If you know where to start, get me involved. If I'm starting it, I will need you to be involved. That's where the whole thing is going to, where we have a new party that will create the new reality for the new Nigeria, new Anambra. Thank you.
We just challenged ourselves. I challenged you and you challenged me. You know, when you were talking, before I let you go, let me take your mind back to, this seems like some other lifetime. You know, when you talked about you are going to invest your time, your energy, I recall what you said decades ago. I can do the calculation right now. I'm not good with arithmetic. You know, and you said, and I quote you, you said, here we are investing our time, the most important resources we have. And you said the most important resources we had then was our time, our energy, our money, and our GP. Thank you. Thank you very much, Apostle Dr. Nnamdi Stanley Mbaigbo. It's been wonderful talking with you. I really did not expect anything less, and we got absolutely nothing less. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Geoman, for what you do. And on my final note, I am calling on the Anambra people that Valentine's Ozugbo's vision for Anambra is rooted at addressing the pressing issues of security. Valentine Ozugbo is about enhancing the business environment.
Well, let me just tell you, there will be time for campaigns, and I'm going to approach your team with what it takes to campaign.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. I thank Sapienza for all you do. God bless us.
All right. Bless you too. It's all about a better society. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Bless you too. All right. You've heard from our guests today. Of course, we've been talking about governance in Anambra State, and also went into challenging ourselves, and that's for all of us, as it has to do with political parties and the idea that we cannot move from point A to point B without getting involved in politics, without being interested in the entire process. And we see as different political parties right now are coming with different baggages that affect. I mean, we've seen what's happening with the Labour Party. That's a pointer to the fact that it's high time that people start getting involved in all of these things. I mean, could there be a neutral platform, a new platform created by people who love this country, people who love their states, created by people who are not interested in corruption rather, but who are interested in building a legacy, making a better society. Could that happen? This is a challenge we all should give ourselves. All right, I'm going to call out the number for the phone line right now. 090. I hope it is this line. All right, let's go for this break, a very short break, and I'll be right back. Let me be very short before I call the wrong number. Welcome back. 09039195402. 09039195402. That's the number to call to be a part of the program today. And don't forget our conversation. We're talking about governance in Anambra State, and we're looking at every sector from security to infrastructure to economic development and all of that. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the platform, sir.
This is Comrade Nnamdi Stanley.
All right.
I'm calling now from Onisha.
All right. Welcome, comrade.
Yeah. In terms of what the heritage enumeration concerning his political party, they are doing wonder on the road that they are building road. They are making dollar to come down, and rest of what you enumerated. To me, I find all these things funny. The reason why I find it funny is that this is 21st century, whereby everybody is in World Wide Web, where information is being downloaded and every information is at the tip of your hand. So Nigerian politicians shouldn't be going about celebrating mediocrity. You see, when they are still celebrating road, and the Chinese build one of the longest bridges and railway, contain everything into 3 years with 3.3 billion naira. And Nigerian government is building a road from Lagos to the Ibadan Expressway with $1 billion US. And they are celebrating. Look at what they are building, railway, Lagos to whatever they call it. How many trillion naira? Just a road. And they have diverted that road. As a result of there is many bridges that will be contained with that road. They diverted the bridges. Look at now, I think one of investors in Nigeria is crying. They have destroyed his investment as a result of building that road. They do not put many things into consideration before they embark it. As a result, because they want to embezzle. You see to that. They shouldn't come out to celebrate all these mediocrities. When APC, no, I'm not a politician, but I'm a concerned Nigeria. I'm not a politician. But I always point out wherever they are trying to make us to be morons. You see to that. All these politicians, they are trying to make us to be morons in Nigeria. But we refuse to be morons, unless the person that accepted to be moron. You see to that. So to me, they shouldn't come and stop that kind of nonsense they are doing. Sorry to use this word. Whenever they are come, they are telling us that they put water. They put water. Some people will come and tell you they put electricity. Look at now, electricity. We are not, as I'm talking to you right now, there is no electric in my house. And I'm paying bills. And they not find any way in order to fix this crime. Which I know it is not a rocket science. It's not a rocket science. Even Elon Musk has built houses in the Mars, and they're traveling to the Mars. The Nigerian producer are still celebrating road. It was built how many centuries ago? And we people discovered how many centuries ago, and we are still celebrating how to build road, celebrating how to put water, celebrating how to use our life. I mean, they should stop all these things. It's not good. It's not. You can't go away with them. This is why we voted them. This is why they come to lead. Or to rule. No, they are rulers. They are not leaders. I mean, Nigerian politicians, they are rulers. They are not leaders. This is why people invited them to come and at least be in the helm of affairs of this country. It's for them to make sure that our life is better. Not every year coming out to tell us they are building this thing, they are building that, and building this. How many years did we take Singapore? Singapore when Malaysia sent them away from a great part of Malaysia. And they went away with bitterness and crying. And they start constructing their country. Today, Singapore is one of the best countries you can reckon with in the world. How many years did you take them to build Singapore? And every year, like people are coming here to celebrate me. My brother, let me stop for now. Thank you very much.
All right. I really had to allow you to vent because you really needed to. But it's just to remind you that you are involved in all of this. And that is the challenge I'll keep throwing to all of us. We are all involved in all of this. Of course, we receive it. We need to start thinking about doing something about all of this beyond talking. Hello?
Geoman, good morning.
Yes, welcome to the program.
Mr. Zukia, Richard from Monitor.
You're on air, if you can be more...
Yeah. I lost.
All right.
Listening.
Yeah, better now.
Your guest.
Yeah.
Via phone call.
Yeah.
Let me agree with the last caller. See, I listened to him carefully.
All right.
And all that he said. The only take home from him is a good man plant trees that he will never or may not accept that in need. And you remind him of one of his quotes some years back. Have he planted a tree that people after him will enjoy? From his point of view, I didn't see that tree because all he listed, I'm not seeing any visibility. Look, Jude Geoman, infrastructure is not all about roads. That's the establishment this morning, Abi.
But I want you to explain what you mean by planting a tree. So I'll be very clear. Nobody will get you wrong.
Yes, he said, a good man, I quote, plants a tree that he will not take shelter in it or may not take shelter in it. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Now, when you plant a tree, it takes time to grow.
No, I'm saying, what do you understand by that? So that we're very clear.
By that statement is that he's trying to encourage us to start something that is good, even though we may not live to enjoy it. Are you getting it? That is what he's trying to tell us. That's what I understand. And linking with Ozibo, he's not planting a tree that he will not benefit from it. From one point of view, no, rather selfishness. Let me tell you one thing you should know. If we are trying for marginalization at the national level, we don't want the government to rule and be. Let us follow, use zonal, we're getting it. It's a turn of the Igbos, Abi. In the last election, we cried for it, we couldn't get it. And the bill came to the National Assembly. They refused to zone, to allow the bill to pass by, whereby presidents should be zoned, Abi. And then coming to state, we now have 3 zones. I keep saying this. Every zone has the good, the bad, the ugly. Is it not true? And Anambra has been the forefront of zoning. I don't encourage incompetency. But the governor is from the same zone with Ozibo, am I right? If the implementation works, is Ozibo going to complete the 4 years of the present governor and give way? The answer is no. So, I love that man, but I've not met him face to face. We direct online. Are you getting it? I would have loved him to stay put and show us the stuff he's made of. But his move at this present time and the party he joined that have put us in this kind of everyday arithmetic. All of us are not Jacobis, just like you say, you're not a good mathematician. All of us are not good in that. They have made us to become mathematicians when we are not mathematicians. We don't know where to start to mix the cement and sand and the garri at the same time. It doesn't work. If I stay put where he is and fight, after all, it is he who lives that fight and come back tomorrow. Is it not true? Knowing that this party, for me, I'm not preaching against any party. The party in power for 8 years plus, and again to 10 years. What good have they done to Nigerians? What can they come up and post about? Please, is a man. Is River Niger sea? Yeah? Can you hear me?
You have the mic. You have the mic, sir.
No, I'm answering a question. Is River Niger sea?
I'm not answering questions today, sir.
So, we're talking about seaport. We don't have anything like seaport here in the east. Is there a river that can carry seaport in the east? Let's tell the truth. There's a name they call that. I'm trying to come up with it. We cannot have seaport in Niger. Because that river cannot carry seaport. Are you not aware? Sure, you are aware of it. You're a journalist. Go and check what I'm telling you. There's a name.
So you want us to call it River Port?
River Port. Thank you very much. Let us start from there. And all the seaport that is deceiving us with their political slangs. The Niger can never have a seaport. And you know that. The capacity of the river cannot carry seaport now. Look at the bridge. Go the old and new one. Where would the what do you call it? The ship pass through. Are you getting it?
But are you aware that Kaduna State has a dry seaport?
Dry seaport depends on what you mean by dry seaport.
I mean, that's what Nigeria calls it.
A dry seaport. That dry.
Let's not go into semantics. Let's not go into semantics. We get your point.
Yes, you get my point. But something that is reasonable. Until the country allows independent candidates to operate, are you getting it? If we not allow independent candidates to operate in Nigeria, we are having this issue. Because they're not ready to form a new political party. Those who are ready to form it, overnight, they will turn things upside down. Nobody will ever made me to believe that such will happen in this place called Anambra. And somebody from the one, you are for example, mathematics is already done in school. Let's take it now.
Sorry, you said nobody can convince you what can happen in Anambra. I didn't get that.
I said nobody can convince me that there will be a product shift in this election. I didn't it.
No, let's not go into all of that.
Okay.
It's going to take the people. I mean, the people will take their decision. Let's not get involved in all of that. All right, but then thank you for calling in. There are some conversation I can't have today because of the technicality involved. I'm not a specialist with the dredging of the river and all of that. I don't have that, but I have seen and I have read some works by people who are in that industry and who have given their advice, and they think something should be done, something can be done, and they also think that it is senseless that Anambra State especially cannot benefit from that. When you look at the people who import into this country, a vast majority of them are from Anambra State. Onitsha is the hub of business, and everybody knows that we should dredge that river, get it better, so cargo can move from. After clearing in Lagos, we can move down here. So many things have been said. I can't go into all of that, but the specialists, maybe someday we'll get them here to explain to us all of that. We can't say these things we don't know. Hello.
Hello, the young man.
All right. I've just been alerted. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Okay. I'm Obil Kike, calling from India.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. You see, a good leader or a good observer, whatever you want to speak, will look and think about the type of mentality the majority of these men or people have. If you want to make law, you will make law that suits the mentality of how your people think. You see, for the Lord shine on earth and work for them. Look at the level in the economy. Different things. Whoever you are, if you are a criminal, just a political criminal, that's all those political criminals that are criminal. Different things. Look at how they are prospering. They're not the same law with America. They make their own according to the way they think. So in Nigeria, my brother, we know that we have been suffering, the suffering caused by bad politicians and people leaders. So we are talking about solution now. I'm talking about solution now. What should we do? And I want to suggest. You see, what we are saying, those who love this country, why can't they have a neutral or good platform, new platform? I want to tell you that people who love this country, they proved it. 2023 election, general election, they showed it well. They showed it that they love this country. And the problem is this. The problem is this. Why the fair is police, INEC, and the judiciary. So they can form a new platform that can do from new judiciary. They can form a new platform that can form new INEC. It's a problem. So they can run like a giant. The INEC will bring them down. The judiciary will bring them down. The problem. In Britain, look at how the Britain election, look at how the electoral body in Britain is the party official.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry. Completely out of time, sir. We are completely out of time. Very sorry. I told you had 2 minutes because I've been warned by my... Actually, warning is a better word to use. By my producers that, I have to round off and get out of the studios for the news to happen. All right. Today's conversation is just beginning. We're definitely going to continue. But then let's not forget... It's our responsibility, all of us, none more than the other, to think about what is best for the next generation, and we are all going to get involved in thinking that. Is it easy? It's not going to be easy. Has it ever been easy anywhere? I love the fact that on this program today, people have been mentioning countries, China, Indonesia. The last caller also mentioned. I think I've heard America here. You just have to look at the history of all of these countries to understand that it's not easy. These are people who fought in tears and blood and sweat, and bones to build their countries to what it is today. Has there been any development without challenges? You are not going to find any example in history where that happened. And just to say, history teaches us. Pick the history of any country that, we now jabber to. Pick the history of any of them. And history teaches us that great leaders were not great because they exactly did what the people at that time accepted. But leaders with vision look at the future and know what it takes for the people to get there. And they begin that planting. It wasn't a popular idea for men to go to the moon. Let's not forget. Today we now take it for granted. Today those making billions from it, we are not even in the room where all of these conversations were being taken. It wasn't a popular idea that America should be free from Great Britain. But then it took visionary men. They fought and died. At that time, it wasn't a popular thing to do. If you look at the whole story of Martin Luther King and all of them, it wasn't a popular thing to do. There were so many blacks who were against this because they thought, you are just bringing trouble to our communities. But today we talk about these things and it's easy. Rosa Parks, when she stood up, when she refused to stand, it wasn't a popular thing at that time. Because some people just wanted to keep the peace. Right? So we can go on and give all of these examples. But then, like I said, it's the responsibility of you as much as it is the responsibility of me. We are not going to look up to anybody, any group of people, some other place at some other time to save us. We are going to look in the mirror and we are going to ask ourselves to save us. Citizens Forum will be here same time, same station next week. I'm Jude Geoman Ekeji. Thank you for being here.